always say is I call it thigh meat, okay? This piece right here, we call that thigh meat. If you have thigh meat, you might need to open up to get the thigh meat through, okay? From there, same thing, same premise as figure. You're just able to flex a little bit harder, open up a little bit more, push into the ground using those feet. Key difference here for women's physique, you can use the floor even more because you're not in heels. So use the floor, use it to your advantage. Quarter turn to the right. The mandatories are the same. So the same thing we did for figure, the same thing you do for women's physique, opening up, still giving that shape, keeping the ribs lifted, shoulders are pushed, legs are flexed. See here, you notice that Natalia has her feet staggered. There's a couple of different reasons you can do that. When you stagger the feet, it's able to give you more push through this hamstring that you're able to see that detail come through, and it gives you even more depth to your physique. So if you're hamstring dominant though, you may not want to stagger, or if you're quad dominant, you may not want to stagger. It'll just magnify it. Quarter turn. Same thing here. You can keep the feet together. You can keep them separated. It just depends on your body and your preference. She's staying lifted, pushing through the floor, making sure the hamstrings and quads are activated. You're able to have more quad and more depth and more detail in women's physique, so you really can push it a little bit more here, but it should still look as effortless as she's making it look. Quarter turn. Same angles here. We're lifted and we're twisted, giving small waist and shape. Hands are relaxed. Notice that she's posing all the way through her fingertip. That line should go all the way through. You want to think of all of your poses as lines, as angles, as shape. Always think about that when you're posing. Quarter turn. And front double bicep. Okay, so leg placement. Natalia always has really good legs, so she has the option to keep that foot right here. So say she wanted to make her quad look a little bit bigger. She can move that foot physically more forward, so that way it's closer to the judges. It makes your legs look a little bit bigger. So if you're lighter in the legs, think about those cheats that are gonna give you the balance you want, the detail you want. The abs are in tight. She's still gonna flex all the way into their hips. Arms are nice and pretty much level. So you want to be conscious, go ahead and raise your elbows up really, really high, of going up here and crowding your head. Okay, so you want to keep that down. The lower your elbows are, the more lat hang I can get and see exactly how she wrapped around from the ribs and the lats came around. Okay, side tricep. And she's giving beautiful transitions as she goes. And so what she did here was she dragged the foot in to more of a standard women's bodybuilding position first, and then she extended it. So you're giving two different looks to the leg, which is absolutely okay. So the chest is lifted. Uh-oh, Sandy's coming. Did I say something wrong? Oh, you good? Okay. I'm good, y'all, I'm good. All right. So here, you're gonna use that back left shoulder to push into this left pec. But at the same time, you wanna give me a little bit of tricep here. Always give the innocent, no, don't take this take this kind of lightly. Give the judges more than what they ask for, but don't go too far left, okay? So in this case, you can give a little bit of tricep. It's not a tricep pose though, but you're giving tricep, you're giving leg, you're giving shape still, and detail, okay? Let's go side tricep.
Real quick, I was just telling Andrea, I hope she knows that you're going to work her.
Yes, I am. Just like practice. Okay, side tricep here. We have a leg extended. Keep in mind, too, what she's doing here, a lot of ladies, what they'll do is turn your foot a little straight. Go this way. They're posed like this. Okay, oh, there you go. Okay, so what she did was she rotates the ankle outwards so that I'm able to get femoris, lateralis, and get this medialis here, okay? So I want to be able to get all heads of the quad while I'm in that pose so that you're showing that detail, you're showing the depth, you're showing the muscularity in the physique, okay? Rear double bicep. Okay, so here, you tend to want to make sure you use your base leg for the hamstring that you can activate the most, because that one's you're going to hold the longest. You still want to be able to activate this leg that's spiked up onto the calf. Chest stays lifted. Again, elbows are down low. She's not crowding her head. She's keeping the traps down and letting her shape do the work. Okay? All of these things are done in your improvement season. Build the muscle and then present it properly when it comes time to come on stage. Ladies, face to front. Hands overhead abdominals. And there's two different options. Natalia does the option with this two hands on the head. There's another option with the hand on the waist. You can do whatever one suits you best. You want to find the one that gives you the most activation through your core because it is technically an ab shot. If you're not activating your abs with the hands over heads, drop the hand, see if you can get the activation there. Okay? Natalia, you got anything you want to add?
Hey, everybody. So I think the most important thing when you're posing, of course, is to practice holding a lot of time, a long time, because as you can see, I'm like out of breath. Because you gotta make it look easy, but it's not easy. Because you're not only thinking about all the little details, everything you have to do, but you cannot breathe. And sometimes Sandy, Steve, whoever is judging you, is gonna make you stay there for a long time because they wanna see if you can hold it, if you've been practicing. And that's the most important thing because sometimes you get on stage, you look good. 5 seconds later, 10 seconds, 15, and then you relax. And that's when they can mark you down. They can see your flaws. So make sure you're always practicing. Don't wait until it's like 8 weeks out, 5 weeks out, a week out to start practicing. Like you're 20 weeks out, it's time, girls, let's go, The more you do it, the better you'll be. So just keep that in mind. And about posing, it's pretty much like confidence, Some girls, like some of my friends, they tell me, how can you go on stage and see so many people looking at you and just feel comfortable? The first time that I competed, not 14 like her, I was 16, a little older. But I went on stage, like backstage, everybody was shaking. Oh my gosh, it's my first time, my first show. But when I went on stage, I'm like, forget about everything. It's your time. You train hard. You do everything you can for that on 1 minute on stage, not even 30 seconds. So make sure you go there and you show off, Forget about being like, I don't know if you should go. No, think about that later. Now it's time to shine, do your thing, and be confident because that shows. When you get there, thank you. And you look at the judges and everybody else, they know that you're not like, they can tell when you've been practicing. They can tell when you're enjoying, when you're having fun, or when you're there shaking and thinking, oh my gosh. No, have fun. We are all here because of one thing. We all love what we do. We all love competing. We all love, some of you never competed. So the first time that you go there, remember to have fun. Because you have to remember, the very first time, you're never gonna forget. You don't want to be like, oh, I wish I could have done that. No, don't wish, do it, That's the time. So it's pretty much that. And make friends, backstage, outside, take pictures, make memories. Because one day you're going to look back and be like, oh my gosh, this was so special for me, these moments. And it doesn't matter if you place first or last. My first Olympia, I placed last. And I guarantee you, I was the happiest girl, even the girl who won, I was happier than her. Because, like, literally, I went out of the stage, my mom was backstage, like, it's okay, Natalia, next time. I was jumping and hugging her. She's like, Natalia, I don't know if you realize, but you placed last. And I was like, yes, but it's not about the placement. It's about, like, the accomplishment. It's the Olympia, Do you know what it means to step on that stage? Do you know the history of this sport? Do you know who the winners are? Do you know, like, for me, like, to me at that day, I was just like, that was everything for me, I am at the Olympia. I am 19 years old. I have time. Don't rush. Have fun. Enjoy the journey. And you get there, If you really love what you're doing, you will get there. So that's it, guys.
Okay, Sid, I think you're done for a tiny bit here, because you'll be back on. I think, just so again, we have a lot of female promoters, and Sid is actually joining us this year. And you know what I just said to Linda? I told you I'm coming to judge your show. Now I'm only coming to judge your show if you're coming back here next year. Oh, still. Okay. Okay, next division up.